Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. Today, again, we have with us an art filming expert and an officer of the Vaidik Sansthan. So, today we are going to discuss about the Shodash Sanskaras. So, what are the Shodash Samskaras and why are they central to Sanatana Dharma? Jai Gurudev, yes, thank you for joining us today. So, the Sodasha Samskaras are the 16 major rites of passage in Vedic tradition. They begin even before birth with the Garbhadan and extend until death with the Antyesti. Each marks a transition in life, conception, birth, naming, education, marriage, and finally, the soul's journey beyond the body. Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji often explains that rituals are not blind customs but methods to honor subtle shifts in consciousness. They sanctify each stage, helping the individual remain aligned with dharma, purity, and higher awareness. From the Vedic Dharma Sanstan's standpoint, the Sodash Samskaras preserve the unbroken flow of Vedic wisdom. Trained priests conduct them according to the Shastras, ensuring mantras are recited correctly, offerings are precise, and intention or sankalpa is pure. These rites uplift not just the individual but the family and society. For example, Upanayana isn't just a ritual, it is initiation into knowledge, where the child receives Gayatri Mantra, embedding discipline for life. Without these, life loses its Vedic rhythm. Now, how does the Garbhadana Samskara impact a couple's life and a future child? Yes, Jagradev, Garbhadana is performed at conception, emphasizing purity of body, mind, and intention. In the art of living, we speak of how a child absorbs impressions from the parents even before birth. Through practices like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, couples can calm their nervous systems, reduce stress, and create a sattvic environment. Science today acknowledges that a parental emotional state influences the fetus. Thus, the samskara ensures a soul descends into a conscious, loving atmosphere. We at Vedic Dharma Sansthan conduct a Garbhadana with specific mantras, invoking blessings from deities for healthy progeny. Fire offerings purify the subtle environment. This ritual sets the spiritual DNA of the child. The mantra vibrations, along with the couple's intention, ensure that conception is not a mere biological act but a divine union. Families who observe this ritual often share experiences of more peaceful children with strong health and spiritual inclination. Now, could you explain the importance of Jata Karma Samskara performed at birth? Yes, Jata Karma is the child's first introduction to Vedic life. The father whispers sacred mantras, often the Gayatri or Om, into the baby's ear. This is symbolic. It plants a seed of higher consciousness. Modern psychology also notes how early sensory impressions deeply influence a newborn. Gurudev often says the first sound the child hears should be sacred. So the subconscious is tuned to peace. When we conduct Jata Karma, the priest prepares sanctified ghee and honey which are touched to the baby's lips along with the mantras. The rite welcomes the child into dharma and society. It also removes the obstacles caused by planetary positions at birth. Our role is to ensure authenticity using Vedic chants that protect the newborn and bless the mother's recovery. Families report feeling a divine presence as if the child is not just theirs but a gift entrusted by the cosmos. Now, how does a Namakarana Samskar or naming ceremony go beyond giving a name? A name is not random in Sanatana Dharma, it is vibration through Namakarana. The chosen name resonates with the child's horoscope, family deity, and sound vibration. Art of Living emphasizes chanting, bhajans, and mantra. Sound can shape consciousness, thus, giving a child a divine name ensures every time it is spoken, a blessing is invoked. It creates identity rooted in culture and spirituality. At Vedic Dhamma Sansthan, we calculate the appropriate syllable from the nakshatra of birth. During the ritual, fire offerings and Vedic mantras energize the name. This ensures harmony between the child's destiny and cosmic order. The community participates, symbolizing that the child belongs not just to the family but to society. We find that children given Vedic names often feel greater connection to Dharma as they grow. Now, how is the Annaprasana Samskar or the first feeding of solid food, both physical and spiritual? Food is prana. When a baby first consumes grains, it is not just nutrition, but initiation into sharing the earth's bounty. In Art of Living, we highlight ahima ahar or non-violent food. Parents are encouraged to introduce sattvic food with mantras, ensuring the child grows with reverence for nourishment. Scientific studies also confirm that introducing food in a peaceful, joyful setting impacts long-term eating habits. and emotional health. Our priests perform Annaprasana with offerings to Agni and Annapurna Devi, invoking blessings for health, strength, and intelligence. Rice or kheer is given to the child, symbolizing prosperity. The family prays that the child's life be free of hunger and filled with abundance. This ritual sacralizes the act of eating, reminding us that food is a divine grace, not mere consumption. Parents often express that the moment feels like their child's second birth, entry into society's sustenance cycle. Now, what is the significance of a Chuda Karana Samskar, or the first haircut, or Mundan? Yes, the shaving of the child's first hair signifies the removal of past impressions and negativity carried from previous births. In yogic terms, hair stores subtle energies. Removing it allows fresh prana flow in the child's system. In the art of living, we often relate this to meditation, where we shed old mental patterns to allow innocence and freshness to shine through. Just as Sudarshan Kriya clears impressions at a cellular level, Chudakarna clears karmic baggage for the child's new life. Parents who approach this with devotion see it as a moment of renewal and surrender. The Vaidik Sansthan conducts a Chuda Karana with the precise rituals, usually in sacred places like Ganga Ghats or temples. The priest chants protective mantras as the child's hair is removed and offered to the deity or river. Symbolically, the act frees the child from impurities, aligning them with sattva. The ritual also strengthens the body, exposing the scalp to sunlight, which Ayurveda says improves health and immunity. Families witness a sense of joy as if the child is reborn, carrying only auspicious vibrations into the future. Now, could you explain the Karna Veda Sanskara, or the ear piercing ceremony, and its deeper meanings? On the surface, it may look like a cultural ornamentation, but the Karna Veda is profound. The ears are pierced so the child remains open to receiving higher knowledge. Yogic science also points out Marma points on the earlobes connected to intelligence, memory, and balance of subtle energies. In the art of living, we teach how listening is key to growth, whether through satsangs, bhajans, or gurus' words. This samskara is a symbolic reminder that one's ears must always remain tuned to wisdom. We perform Karna Veda by chanting specific mantras, invoking Surya and Agni deities, ensuring the child develops a sharp intellect and good health. Traditionally, gold is used for piercing as it has purifying and healing properties. The act of piercing is not merely decorative but a subtle healing process rooted in Ayurveda. The priest sanctifies the act with the holy water, making it a spiritual initiation. Parents often report their children becoming more receptive, attentive, and rounded after this ritual, reinforcing the idea that it awakens the subtle faculties. Now, how is Vidyaramba Samskara, or initiation into learning, connected to spiritual growth? Yes, Jagurudev, the first writing of letters by a child is more than literacy. It's an invocation of Saraswati Devi, the goddess of knowledge. At Art of Living, Gurudev often stresses that education is incomplete without wisdom. Vidyaramba ensures that learning is not just for livelihood, but for cultivating discernment or viveka. The child is taught to write sacred syllables like Om or Hari, symbolizing that knowledge begins with the divine. This is similar to how our courses emphasize not just skills but self awareness, compassion, and clarity. In Vidyaramba, the priest invokes Goddess Saraswati through mantras and prepares a child to write their first letter on a plate of rice. This ensures learning begins on an auspicious foundation. The ritual also improves and involves prayers for clarity of speech, intelligence, and freedom from ignorance. At Vaidik Sansthan, we guide families to perform it during Vasant Panchami or auspicious nakshatras, aligning cosmic vibrations with the child's journey of knowledge. Parents share that it feels like handing their child over to the goddess herself, ensuring education is guided by Dharma, not just ambition. Now, why is Upanayana Sanskara, or the sacred thread ceremony, considered so transformative? Upanayana is initiation into a disciplined life, marking the child's entry into brahmacharya ashram. The sacred thread represents responsibility, purity, and readiness for higher learning. In the art of living, we see this as a moment when a student is given tools to refine their consciousness, like Sudarshan Kriya or meditation today. Receiving the Gayatri Mantra during Upanayanam is akin to being handed the key to inner light. The mantra cleanses the intellect and expands awareness, something every seeker needs. We conduct Upanayana with a strict adherence to the Vedas. The child wears the Yajna Pavita, or the sacred thread, while vows of discipline and celibacy are taken. The guru or priest whispers the Gayatri mantra, ensuring it is passed down in the oral tradition. This moment transforms the child into a Dvija, or a twice born, reborn into spiritual responsibility. The Sansthan also ensures The training in Sandhya Vandanam is taught so daily life remains aligned with Dharma. Parents see this as a turning point where the child steps into a new role, not just their son or daughter, but a torchbearer of Sanatana tradition. Now, how does Samavartana or Samskara or the completion of student life prepare a person for worldly duties? Samavartana marks the end of formal Gurukul education and the students' return to society. It is not just graduation, it is a spiritual send off. In the art of living, we remind participants that knowledge is not for hoarding but for seva or selfless service. Similarly, Samavartana prepares the individual to balance inner wisdom with outer responsibilities. The ritual emphasizes humility no matter how much knowledge one gains. It must be used to uplift society, not inflate the ego. In this ritual, students express gratitude to their guru, seek blessings, and are reminded of their duties to family and society. The priest guides them with the mantras on dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, the fourth Purusharthas of life. The Sansthan ensures these mantras are not forgotten as they act like a compass in worldly life. Families see this samskara as a bridge between brahmacharya and grihastha ashrama, where the individual is now prepared to become a responsible householder. It sanctifies the transition, so life's next phase begins with clarity and blessings. Now, why is Vivaha Samskara considered the most important turning point in life? Yes, Jagadev, marriage is not merely a contract between two people, it is a spiritual union. In The Art of Living, His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji explains that marriage is a sacred partnership where both individuals support each other's growth in dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. The rituals such as Saptapadi or seven steps are symbolic commitments, shared responsibility, mutual respect, and walking together through life's challenges. From a yogic perspective, two energies merge, balancing masculine and feminine within the family. When couples meditate together, practice Sudarshan Kriya, or attend satsangs, their bond transcends emotional ups and downs, aligning with higher consciousness. For us at the Vedic Dharma Sansthan, Viva is the cornerstone of Grihastha Ashrama. Priests ensure the mantras, homa, and vows are performed with accuracy, as each action holds a profound meaning. The Saptapadi binds the couple before Agni, making the union unbreakable in Dharma society. The Samskara also sanctifies procreation, ensuring that future generations are rooted in purity. Many families testify that conducting marriage with full Vedic rituals brought harmony, prosperity, and stability into the couple's life. Without the samskara, marriage risks becoming transactional rather than transformational. Now, how do the rituals in Vedic samskara prepare a couple for family life? Every ritual during Vivaha carries subtle psychological preparation. The knotting of garments symbolizes oneness, circling the fire reflects a commitment to dharma, sharing sweet food signifies harmony. In The Art of Living, we encourage couples to view these as meditative acts, anchoring them in awareness and sacredness. Gurudev often says that in marriage, both partners must see beyond likes and dislikes, and rituals remind them of this higher purpose. Even today, young couples practicing art of living find deeper meaning in their lives in these rites as they offer stability amidst a modern chaos. At Vedic Dharma Sansthan, a priest guide couples step by step, ensuring they understand the symbolism. For instance, Mangalya Dharana or the tying of the sacred thread represents a protection and shared destiny, while Panigrahana or the holding hands means accepting responsibility for each other's well-being. The mantras invoke blessings for fertility, health, and mutual support. These rituals are not blind tradition; they are carefully designed systems that prepare the couple psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually for life ahead. Parents often share that after such a marriage, their children's homes radiate peace. Now, how is Vivaha Samskara connected to societal harmony? There, the marriage is not only about two people, it is the foundation of society. Families are born through it, and values are passed down. In Art of Living, we often say a happy family is the building block of a stress free society. When marriages are anchored in dharma and strengthened by spiritual practices like satsangs, pranayama, and meditation, children grow up secure, compassionate, and confident. This reduces societal stress, crime, and conflict. Thus, Vivaha is not a private matter but a social responsibility. Our scriptures describe Vivaha as Samaj Vyavastha ka Mool, Stamba, the pillar of social order. By ensuring marriages are performed under dharmic guidelines, Vedic Dharma Sansthan strengthens the very fabric of society. The rituals also unite families, castes, and communities in a shared celebration of Dharma. When couples live with the vows of fidelity, service, and compassion, they contribute to social stability. Many community leaders agree that families grounded in Vedic marriage traditions show greater resilience and responsibility towards society. Now, how does the Vivaha Samskara align with modern life and challenges? Yet the modern couples face pressures of career, lifestyle, and changing values. Yet the essence of marriage remains timeless trust, love, and shared growth. In the art of living, we integrate Vedic wisdom with the modern tools. Couples are encouraged to meditate together, resolve conflicts with compassion, and view marriage as a journey of self expansion. Gurudev reminds us that spirituality makes love unconditional and enduring. When couples marry with full Vedic rituals, they anchor themselves in a sacred foundation that sustains them even amidst modern stress. At Vaidik Sansthan, we adapt rituals while preserving authenticity. For instance, while city weddings may not allow large scale yajnas, we ensure mantras, homa, and sankalpa are never compromised. The priests also explain the meaning of each ritual in contemporary language so young couples feel connected. This bridges tradition and modernity. Many couples tell us that understanding the significance made them embrace marriage more joyfully, seeing it not as a burden but as a spiritual partnership that enhances their modern life. After marriage, what role does Vivaha Samskara play in raising children and continuing Dharma? Marriage is the soil and children are its flowering. In Art of Living, we emphasize that parents transmit not just genetics but vibrations. When the marriage is sanctified by Dharma and supported by practices like Sudarshan Kriya, and meditation. Children grow up in a stress free, spiritually charged environment. Vivaha thus ensures that future generations inherit values of compassion, resilience, and wisdom. It is not just about two individuals, but about a continuity of dharmic lineage. Our Sansthan views Vivaha as the foundation for all future samskaras, be it Gardan, Jatakarma, or Upanayana, all depend on a dharmic union. When performed correctly, Vivaha blesses the couple with progeny who carry forward tradition. Priests remind parents of their duty to not only provide material comfort but also dharmic education. Many families return to us to perform further samskaras for their children, completing the cycle. Thus, Vivaha is the seed from which the entire tree of Sanatana Dharma grows. Now, what is the significance of Vanaprastha Samskara in the journey of life? In Sanatana Dharma, life is divided into four ashramas. It's the Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. The Vanaprastha is the stage where one gradually withdraws from household responsibilities and turns towards spiritual practice. In the art of living, we encourage people nearing this phase to invest more time in meditation, seva, and knowledge. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji often says that retirement should not mean loneliness but inner blossoming. By slowly reducing attachment and shifting attention to the self, Vanaprastha prepares the mind for liberation while still guiding younger generations. The Vedic Dharma Sansthan performs the Vanaprastha Samskara as a formal declaration of this situation and transition. Rituals involve offering prayers to Agni and deities, seeking blessings for detachment and wisdom. The individual symbolically hands over household responsibilities to the next generation. This ensures a social stability and prevents conflict within families. The ceremony is not common today, but when performed, it brings great clarity. Families tell us it reduces friction between generations as elders step gracefully into the role of guides rather than controllers. Now, how does the Vanaprastha Samskara benefit both elders and younger family members? For elders, Vanaprastha provides freedom from financial, emotional, and social pressures. It allows time for introspection, meditation, and spiritual growth. For younger members, it brings empowerment as responsibility is gradually shifted to them. In the art of living, we often see families flourish when elders meditate and bless rather than interfere. Their wisdom becomes a guiding light while the youth take active roles in building careers and managing homes. This balance creates harmony across generations. Our Sansthan emphasizes that Vanaprastha prevents ego clashes. Rituals mark the transfer of duty, so there is no ambiguity. Elders are honored, yet they symbolically renounce control, focusing instead on dharmic guidance. For younger generations, this brings clarity. They receive authority with blessings, not resistance. We have seen many families report reduced tension and stronger bonds after performing this samskara. It also ensures the lineage continues smoothly with the elders devoting themselves to spiritual upliftment. Now, how does the sannyasa samskara differ from vanaprastha? While vanaprastha is a gradual withdrawal, sannyasa is total renunciation. It marks the complete dedication of one's life to moksha. In the art of living, few may formally take sannyasa, but everyone is encouraged to cultivate the spirit of renunciation, that is freedom from greed, ego, and endless desires. Gurudev often says that true renunciation is internal, not just external. A sannyasi becomes a beacon of wisdom, radiating unconditional love and peace. At Vaidik Dharma Sansthan, sannyasa samskar is performed with great solemnity. The person takes vows of detachment, often donning ochre robes, symbolizing burning away worldly ties. Rituals include mantras for liberation and offering one's identity to the divine. This is not just personal, it is a societal role. A sannyasi inspires communities, reminding them of the highest goal of life, of moksha. Though rare today, when performed authentically, it elevates the entire family and society. So, what is the importance of Antyeshti Samskar, the last rites? Death is not the end, it is a transition. Antyeshti ensures that the departing soul is released with dignity, prayers, and guidance. In the art of living, we encourage families to chant mantras, perform meditation, and offer gratitude so the atmosphere remains sattvic. Gurudev says the final vibrations heard by the departing soul deeply affect its onward journey. Thus, last rites are not rituals of grief alone, but pathways for liberation, both for the soul and for the family left behind. Our Sansthan conducts Antyeshti with full Vedic precision, cremation, fire offerings, recitation of mantras guiding the soul, and rituals for the family's purification. The body is offered back to the five elements, acknowledging that only the Atman is eternal. The rites ensure the soul does not linger in confusion but moves towards higher realms. Families who observe these rituals with faith often report deep peace, feeling as though the departed one has truly attained freedom. Without proper Antyeshti, traditions say the soul may feel unsettled. Now, how do post death rituals like Shraddha and Tarpana support the departed soul? In the art of living, we explain that love continues beyond death. Post death rituals like Shraddha and Tarpana allow families to express gratitude, release attachment, and support the soul's journey. Offering food, water, and prayers to ancestors is symbolic, but the intention creates powerful vibrations. It also heals the living, helping them process grief. Meditation during such times connects families with the eternal truth that life and death are but different rooms in the same house of existence. The Vedic Dhamma Sansthan conducts Shraddha ceremonies annually to honor ancestors. Through mantras and offerings, families strengthen their bond with Pithas or ancestors. The rituals ensure blessings from the ancestral line, removing obstacles in the family's present life. Many report that after performing Shraddha, difficulties ease and a sense of continuity prevails. It's not superstition, it's a scientific way of maintaining harmony between the seen and unseen realms. For us, the samskara ensures a dharmic balance across generations. Now, how do the Shodash samskara collectively shape human life? Each samskara is like a milestone in consciousness from conception to cremation. They guide us to live with awareness, responsibility, and sacredness. Without these rites, a life can feel random, but with them, every stage becomes meaningful in art of living. Our courses provide inner experiences like Sudarshan Kriya that purify impressions. Similarly, the samskaras are outer rituals that sanctify transitions. Together, they ensure balance between inner growth and outer responsibilities. A person who undergoes these 16 rituals naturally develops a sattvic mind and harmonious lifestyle. From the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan, the Sudha Samskaras are the very spine of Sanatana Dharma. They preserve continuity of tradition linking generations. Each ritual uplifts the individual, family, and society, whether it is Garbhadana for pure conception, Upanayana for discipline, or Antyeshti for liberation. Every samskara connects the individual to cosmic order or artha. By conducting these authentically, we ensure that dharma flows unbroken and life is not just biological survival but a spiritual journey. Now, what psychological benefits do samskaras bring to individuals? Modern psychology acknowledges the importance of rituals for emotional security. Samskaras mark transitions, reducing anxiety around change. For example, a child starting school may feel uncertain, but Vidyaramba blesses them with confidence. Marriage can be stressful, but Vivaha rituals create a sense of divine support. Even Antyeshti helps families cope with grief in art of living. We see that rituals combined with meditation bring emotional resilience. They reassure the subconscious mind that every stage is guided, blessed, and supported by something higher. Our Sansan views samskaras as psychological anchors. They provide structure, meaning, and reassurance. When families participate in rituals together, bonds strengthen, reducing loneliness and alienation. The mantras of the fire offerings and symbolic acts calm the mind, aligning thoughts with the positivity. In today's fast changing world, where stress and uncertainty dominate, samskaras act as stabilizers. keeping individuals grounded in culture and dharma. Families often tell us that children raised with samskaras display more confidence and clarity in life. Now, how do the samskara strengthen family bonds? Every samskara is a collective celebration. Birth rituals, naming ceremonies, marriages all bring families together. These gatherings create shared memories, which are vital for emotional security. In Art of Living, we encourage families to meditate and do satsang together because shared spiritual practices strengthen love. Similarly, samskaras bind families through collective prayers and blessings. They remind us that we are not isolated individuals but part of a lineage and community. Our Sansthan often sees families who may live scattered across cities reunite for samskaras during vivaha or upanayana. Relatives come together, strengthening relationships. Rituals also teach respect. Elders bless the younger, and children learn to honor ancestors. Such practices reduce generational gaps in modern society. Where nuclear families are common, samskaras preserve the sense of extended family. They act as glue binding not just individuals but entire clans in dharma and tradition. Now, how do the samskaras align with the art of living practices like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation? Yes, Jaguar, samskaras and practices like Sudarshan Kriya work on complementary levels. Samskaras are outer rituals performed with mantras, fire, and community, while Sudarshan Kriya and meditation are inner rituals purifying breath, mind, and consciousness. Together, they create holistic transformation. For example, Upanayana gives Gayatri Mantra externally. Our courses teach how to chant and meditate on it internally. Gurudev often says that true spirituality blends ritual, knowledge, and experience. Thus, art of living practices deepen the essence of Sat Samskara, making them more alive and experiential. We see art of living as a modern alive while we ensure outer Vedic authenticity. Their practices strengthen the inner readiness of individuals. A calm, meditative parent performs Garbhadana with more sincerity. A stress free child undergoing Vidyarambha receives knowledge with more openness. Rituals and practices together bridge tradition and modern life, ensuring samskaras are not mechanical but deeply lived. This synergy is the future of Sanatan Dharma. Now, how do the samskaras contribute to social harmony? Yes, Jagadev, a society rooted in samskaras naturally has less conflict. When individuals respect life's stages, they respect each other's roles. Children honor parents, couples value commitment, families care for ancestors. In art of living, satsangs bring diverse people together in joy. Similarly, samskaras unify communities as everyone participates in shared prayers. They remind us that society is not just an economic structure but a spiritual family. For the Sansthan, samskaras are social glue. Public rituals like marriages or upanayana create bonds beyond blood relations. Neighbors, friends, and communities join. This shared participation reduces divisions of caste, class, or wealth. Mantras and yagyas uplift the collective atmosphere, reducing negativity. We have observed that villages or towns where samskaras are performed regularly enjoy more harmony, less crime, and stronger cultural pride. The samskaras are not only personal milestones but tools of social order. Now, how is the Upanayana Sanskaar conducted and why is it considered a spiritual rebirth? Yes, Jagardev, Upanayana marks the initiation of a child into spiritual education through the Gayatri Mantra. It is considered a second birth, Advaita, because the child now begins life with knowledge and responsibility. The sacred thread or Yajnopavita wand symbolizes purity, discipline, and readiness to learn. It is a powerful reminder that life is meant for higher pursuits, not just survival. We conduct Upanayanam with full Vedic mantras guided by learned priests. Parents and child are prepared with fasting rituals and guidance about lifestyle. The child receives Gayatri Mantra Diksha, which enhances focus, memory, and inner purity. Families often report that the child becomes more disciplined, respectful, and rooted in tradition. Scientifically, chanting Gayatri improves mental clarity and calms the nervous system, which aligns beautifully with the art of living meditation and practices. Now, what role does Vedaramba Samskar or the beginning of the Vedic studies play in shaping character? The Vedaramba Samskar is when a child formally begins learning the Vedas, scriptures, and spiritual texts. It instills the values of truth, dharma, and knowledge at a young age. In today's terms, it is about exposing children to wisdom literature and spiritual practices that build character. This ensures they don't just grow academically but also emotionally and ethically strong. We organize Vedaramba ceremonies where teachers bless the student and parents commit to supporting their child's spiritual learning. The ritual emphasizes humility, respect for the guru, and reverence for sacred knowledge. When children learn mantras, meditation, and chanting early, they develop better focus and fewer behavioral issues. Research supports that such practices reduce stress and improve attention span. Thus, the samskara creates a lifelong foundation for wisdom. Now, what is the significance of Keshan Samskara, or the first shaving of beard, in spiritual maturity? Jagadev, Keshanta marks the transition of a boy into adolescence. It symbolizes their shedding old identity and stepping into a new phase of responsibility. Just as hair grows and falls, life is ever changing, and the Sanskara reminds the child to embrace growth with awareness. In Art of Living, we emphasize meditation at this stage so young minds channel their energy positively instead of being distracted by worldly pressures. In the ritual in Vaidik Sansthan, priests chant mantras to bless the adolescent with purity of thoughts and restraint. The act of shaving is symbolic of removing ego and ignorance. Parents and gurus guide the youth about self discipline, morality, and societal responsibility. Families who conduct the samskara notice their children becoming more aware of their duties. It's a preventive step against confusion and rebellion in teenage years, aligning beautifully with the modern psychological needs. Now, how does a Samavartan Samskar prepare a student to enter household life? The Samavartan marks the completion of formal education and the readiness to enter worldly life. It teaches balance, how to apply spiritual knowledge in practical living. In the Art of Living, we guide youth in similar ways: how to use meditation, sudarshan prayer, and wisdom to remain centered while facing career pressures and family responsibilities. During Samavartan, the student offers Guru Dakshina, or the showing gratitude for knowledge. The Guru blesses them with instructions on how to live as a householder, upholding Dharma, earning honestly, and contributing to society. This samskara prevents arrogance of knowledge and replacing it with humility and service mindedness. Parents say children develop respect for elders and a sense of responsibility towards community. After this ritual, it is a vital bridge between student life and family life. Now, what is the importance of Vivaha Samskar, or marriage ceremony, in preserving Dharma? The Vivaha is not just a union of two individuals, but a sacred partnership rooted in Dharma. It ensures stability in society and continuity of tradition. The mantras chanted during the wedding emphasize companionship, equality, and shared responsibility. In the Art of Living, satsangs and couple workshops echo the same principle of love, trust, and mutual respect. We conduct Vedic weddings as per scriptures of Kanyadan, Saptapadi, Mangal Sutra. The couple promises to support each other in Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. These vows make marriage not just emotional but spiritual. Families benefit too, as weddings bring communities together in joy and blessing. Scientific studies show that couples who share spiritual practices like chanting or meditation have greater harmony and less conflict. Exactly what Vivaha Samskara aims for. Now, how does the Antyeshti Samskar, the last rites, provide closure and spiritual support? Yes, Jai Gurudev, Antyeshti teaches us the impermanence of life. It is the final act of love towards the departed soul, ensuring their smooth journey onwards. Chanting mantras and performing rituals brings peace to the grieving family. Meditation at such times helps overcome sorrow and connect with the eternal nature of the soul. As Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji often explains, in Antyeshti, the body is consigned to fire or earth with Vedic rites, acknowledging that the soul is immortal. Priests chant mantras like Antim Yatra mantras to guide the soul towards liberation. Families performing these rites experience closure as they feel they have fulfilled their duty. The practice also unites communities, offering collective support. Psychologically, rituals reduce trauma and provide structured grieving, which modern science confirms as healing. Now, how do the Shodash samskaras collectively shape a person's dharmic journey from birth to death? The 16 sanskaras form a complete spiritual framework. They sanctify every stage of life: the birth, the education, marriage, and even death. This ensures that a person lives consciously, not mechanically. In the Art of Living, we see these rituals as anchors of awareness. When combined with meditation and Sudarshan Kriya, they help a person live joyfully while staying rooted in tradition. Exactly, each samskara purifies, uplifts, and refines the human personality. They remove inner impurities of malas, guide conduct, and remind us of our higher purpose. From the first cry of birth to the last breath, every stage is supported with divine blessings. Families who follow the Shodash Samskaras report stronger values, healthier relationships, and more harmony in community life. Now, how does the Jata Karma Samskar connect modern science with ancient wisdom? Yes, Jagurudev, the Jata Karma performed at birth welcomes the child with sacred sounds and blessings. Modern science shows that babies respond to vibrations in early bonding rituals. Chanting mantras at birth can imprint peace and love into the subconscious mind. In Art of Living, we encourage parents to sing bhajans and practice meditation during pregnancy and after birth as it affects the child's development positively. During Jatakarma, ani and ghee mixed with mantras are gently placed on the baby's tongue, symbolizing sweetness of speech. The father whispers sacred mantras into the baby's ear, introducing them to Dharma from the very first moment. Scientifically, this strengthens parental bonding and the baby's emotional security. Families feel immense joy and purpose knowing their child is starting life under divine blessings. Now, why is the Namakaran Samskar more than just naming a child? Yes, Jagrut, the Namakaran shapes a child's identity and vibrations. A name carries energy, and when chosen from scriptures, it invokes divine qualities. For example, names of deities remind a child of higher virtues. In the art of living, we see how even chanting names like Rama or Shiva uplifts consciousness. A child repeatedly hearing their sacred names subtly aligns with those qualities. We organize Namkarana on the 11th or 12th day with the mantra chanting, horoscope analysis, and family blessings. It's not just naming but dedicating the child to God. The priest blesses the child to embody qualities of their name. Families say children grow with a sense of belonging, respect for tradition, and spiritual strength. Psychologists agree that meaningful names can boost self esteem and purpose. Jagdev, so how does the Annaprashan Samskar prepare a child for nourishment with the mindfulness? Yes, Jagdev, the Annaprashan, the first feeding of solid food, is a celebration of life's sustenance. It teaches parents to see food as sacred, not just fuel. In the art of living, we emphasize Anna Brahma or the food as divine energy. When parents chant and meditate before feeding, the child absorbs not only nutrients but also vibrations of love. The ritual involves feeding the child with rice and ghee amidst Vedic chants. Families also offer prayers to Agni or fire and Annapurna Devi for health and prosperity. This samskara reduces strength around parenting as it blesses the child's digestive strength and overall growth. It also creates a bond between family and child. Modern studies confirm that when food is given with positivity and blessing, digestion and immunity improve. Now, what is the role of Chudakaran Sanskar or Mundan ceremony in purifying body and mind? As Jagudev, the Chudakarana is about shaving off the baby's first hair, symbolizing the removal of past impressions and karma. Spiritually, it represents a fresh start in life. The head, being the seat of thoughts, when purified through this ritual, becomes a channel for higher learning in the art of living. We often explain that dropping old baggage is necessary for growth. This ritual is an outer expression of that inner truth. We conduct Chudakarana with Vedic mantras, usually at pilgrimage spots like Ganga or sacred temples. Parents offer the child's hair to the holy river for or deity, symbolizing surrender. Families report children becoming calmer, healthier, and more receptive after this ritual. Scientifically, it reduces scalp infections, improves hygiene, and has psychosomatic benefits, aligning beautifully with Ayurveda's health principles. Now, how does the Karnaveda Samskar or the ear piercing carry spiritual meaning? The Karnaveda is not just a physical, it opens subtle energy channels related to listening and intuition. Piercing the ear is symbolic of becoming receptive to divine wisdom. In satsangs, we stress the importance of deep listening. This ritual prepares a child energetically to receive higher truths. Ear piercing is done with chanting of mantras, invoking Saraswati Devi for wisdom and health. Ayurveda notes that specific ear points are acupuncture and acupressure spots linked to eyesight and reproductive health. Thus, the ritual has both medical and spiritual benefits. Families often tell us children develop sharper focus and listening skills after Karna Veda. It reminds us that every ritual has layers of meaning, practical, spiritual, and psychological. Now, why is Vidyaramba Sanskar, beginning of education, celebrated with such devotion? The Vidyaramba marks the child's formal entry into learning. It's often symbolized by writing Om on a slate or rice. Spiritually, it conveys that all knowledge begins and ends in the divine. In the art of living, we see this as introducing mindfulness into education. So children learn with awareness, not just memorization. During Vidyaramba, the guru or parent guides the child's hand to write sacred syllables, invoking blessings of Saraswati Devi. This ritual creates reverence for knowledge. Families feel this gives children an auspicious start, ensuring education is not a burden but a joy. Psychologically, it creates a positive emotional imprint associated with learning, which can influence a child's lifelong relationship with study. Now, how is the Upanayam Sanskar connected to the sacred Gayatri mantra? Yes, Jagruta, the Upanayam is one of the most powerful sanskaras. It initiates a child into chanting the Gayatri mantra, which expands awareness and sharpens intellect. His Holiness Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji often says the Gayatri is not just prayer but energy. It trains the mind to stay alert and connected to inner wisdom. The child is given the sacred thread or the Yajnopavita and taught Gayatri mantra by the Guru. From that day, the child is considered the Dvija or the twice born with responsibility to uphold Dharma. Chanting Gayatri regularly purifies the mind, improves the concentration, and brings clarity. Families say this ritual transforms children, giving them a sense of maturity and spiritual responsibility. Even modern research shows that chanting mantras regulates breathing and calms the nervous system. What is the importance of Vedaramba Samskar after Upanayam? Yes, Jagrudev, the Vedaramba is about beginning formal study of the Vedas. It emphasizes humility and reverence for sacred knowledge in the art of living. This relates to exposing children early to wisdom texts and meditation, so they develop not just intelligence but wisdom and values. We conduct Vedaramba by having the Guru initiate the child into chanting Vedic verses. This helps cultivate respect for teachers and knowledge. Families say children develop a deeper discipline and awareness after this ritual. In today's world, it ensures spiritual grounding amidst academic pressures, balancing material and spiritual education. Now, what is the symbolic depth of Keshan Samskara or the first beard shaving? Yes, Jayagurudev, the Keshant marks the entry of a boy into adolescence. Spiritually, shaving the first beard symbolizes shedding old tendencies and stepping into responsibility. Just as outer hair is removed, the ritual is about dropping inner impurities. In Art of Living, we encourage teenagers to learn pranayama and meditation at this stage so their energy flows constructively during a transformative phase of life. We conduct Keshant with Vedic mantras, offering prayers for purity of thought and controlled senses. The youth is reminded of their role in society and Dharma. Families say this ritual gives their children confidence and direction. Ayurveda also supports it. Regular shaving at this stage improves hygiene and has psychosomatic benefits. It is a gentle initiation to adulthood, blending discipline with spiritual grounding. Now, how does Samavartan Samskar bridge student life and household life? Yes, so Jayagurudev, the Samavartan is a gradual ceremony or the graduation ceremony. The student expresses gratitude to the Guru and prepares to live as a responsible adult. Spiritually, it reminds us that education is not just for personal success but for serving society. In Art of Living, DSN and youth leadership programs carry the same spirit, empowering graduates to live with service and centeredness. We conduct Samavartan with rituals where the student bathes, offers Guru Dakshina, and receives blessings for the next phase of life. The Guru instructs the student to live truthfully, earn righteously, and serve family and society. Families experience pride and humility in this transition. The samskara prevents arrogance of knowledge, replacing it with service mindedness, which is invaluable in modern professional and family life. Now, what is the role of Vivaha Samskar in sustaining family and society? Yes, Jayagurudev, Vivaha is not just a social contract, it is a spiritual union for higher goals. Marriage, when rooted in Dharma, becomes a support system for spiritual growth. In the Art of Living, we teach couples to meditate together, strengthening love and patience. This makes family life an arena of joy, not stress. We conduct Vedic marriages with the Kanyadan, Saptapadi, Mangal Sutra. Each step has deep meaning. The couple vows to uphold Dharma, share responsibilities, and support each other in life's four goals of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Families experience weddings as not just celebrations but blessings. Community ties are strengthened, and society benefits when households are based on spiritual values. Now, how is the Vanaprastha ashram linked to the Shodash samskaras? While not a formal sanskara, the vanaprastha or the retirement stage is implied within the system. After fulfilling household duties, one turns towards detachment and deeper spiritual practices. In Art of Living, many people step into this phase through seva, satsang, and long meditation retreats. It prepares the mind for liberation away from maternal attachments. We help elders take guidance from scriptures about vanaprastha. Rituals are performed where the couple symbolically hands over responsibilities to the next generation and devotes themselves to spiritual practices. Families benefit immensely, elders find purpose, and younger ones learn independence. This stage ensures wisdom and blessings flow across generations without burden or conflict. Now, what is the deeper message of Antyeshti Samskar or the last rites? Antyeshti teaches impermanence, it's the soul's graduation, not an end. By performing last rites with mantras, we acknowledge that the soul is eternal and only the body is shed. In Art of Living, we use meditation to help families deal with grief, transforming sorrow into acceptance and celebration of life. During Antyeshti, the body is consigned to fire or earth with the chants guiding the soul. Rituals like Pindadan and Tarpan ensure peace for ancestors and liberation for the departed. Families find closure knowing they fulfill their sacred duty. Communities gather, offering collective strength psychologically. Rituals provide structure in grief, which modern therapy also emphasizes. It turns mourning into a sacred journey of release. Now, how do the Shodash samskaras nurture balance between material and spiritual life? Each samskara ensures that spiritual values are woven into worldly duties. For example, Vivaha makes family life sacred, while Samavartan teaches service mindedness. This prevents life from becoming only about survival and possessions and art of living. We teach the same balance through meditation, seva, and wisdom, so one enjoys material life but doesn't get lost in it. The beauty of Shodash Samskaras is that they sanctify everything from food to education to death. Families who follow them feel life becomes more meaningful and less stressful. They remind us that dharma and material growth can coexist. Society also benefits because individuals raised in this system become compassionate, responsible citizens. Now, how does the Vaidik Sansthan support families in conducting these rituals today? Many people hesitate because they don't know the procedures. Vaidik Sansthan bridges this gap by providing trained priests, detailed guidance, and proper arrangements. This makes rituals accessible even in modern cities. We organize everything priests, mantras, materials, and guidance, ensuring authenticity. We also explain the meaning so families connect with the rituals, not just mechanically perform them, whether it's a small annaprashan or a grand vivaha. Our goal is to preserve sanctity and simplicity. Families appreciate the clarity, and the next generation learns naturally. Now, how do these samskaras align with art of living practices? Yes, regular samskaras purify the outer life, while practices like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation purify the inner life. Together, they form a complete system. For example, Upanayana teaches Gayatri chanting, and art of living deepens this with pranayama. Vivaha sanctifies marriage, while our couple meditations nurture harmony daily. Exactly, both systems aim at upliftment. When families do samskaras with rituals and also meditate, the benefits multiply. Children raised this way are strong in both tradition and modern life, respecting roots while being stress free and confident. What benefits do parents see when they perform samskaras for children? Parents report children becoming calmer, more focused, and more respectful. Sanskaras remind children that life is sacred and they grow up with self esteem and values. In Art of Living, we notice that children adapt faster to meditation and wisdom practices. Families often share that children become more disciplined and healthier. For example, Karna Veda improves listening and Vidyaramba fosters love for learning. Parents also feel more connected as the rituals are opportunities for family bonding. Now, how do the samskaras strengthen community life? Rituals are often community gatherings, be it marriage, annaprashan, or antyeshti. They create social bonds and support networks. This reduces loneliness and stress, something modern life lacks. In art of living, satsangs play the same role, bringing joy through collective celebration. Yes, samskaras make communities vibrant. People come together to bless, support, and share. This strengthens harmony and prevents isolation. When dharma is celebrated collectively, it creates a culture of compassion and unity. Families tell us these occasions become their happiest memories. Now, what psychological benefits are linked to Shodash Samskaras? They give structure and meaning to life's transitions, reducing anxiety. For example, Antyeshti provides closure while Upanayana builds confidence in adolescence. This framework helps the mind process change without fear. Modern psychology confirms that rituals reduce stress, improve bonding, and provide emotional security. The samskaras do exactly this, but with the added spiritual depth. Families experience both healing and inspiration, which a modern therapy alone cannot provide. Now, how do samskaras help preserve Sanatana Dharma in modern times? By practicing sanskaras, families transmit values across generations. Children learn respect, responsibility, and devotion naturally. In Art of Living, we see this as a continuity of culture with a universal relevance. Samskaras are living dharma. They ensure traditions are not just in theory. Even if families live abroad, performing these rituals keeps their roots alive. Many NRIs seek our support to conduct ceremonies authentically, keeping their children connected to their heritage. So, can these samskaras be adapted for modern lifestyle without losing essence? Absolutely. What matters is sincerity, not extravagance. Even simple rituals done with devotion carry power in art of living. We adapt practices so they suit modern schedules without diluting essence. The same applies to samskaras. We help families simplify arrangements without compromising mantras or procedures. The goal is accessibility, whether done at home, temple, or abroad. The spiritual energy remains. Adaptation keeps the tradition alive, especially among youth. Now, how do the Shodash samskaras prepare a soul for liberation or the moksha? They remind us at every step that life is temporary and sacred, from birth rituals to untasty. The soul is guided towards awareness. Combined with the meditation, these rituals dissolve fear and ignorance, preparing one for liberation. Yes, and samskaras purify karma and guide the soul as the key transitions. Families benefit too as blessings flow through generations. Ultimately, these rituals are not about control but about freedom, freedom from ignorance, attachment, and fear of death. So, what is your final message on Shoda Samskaras for today's generations? Life becomes richer when every stage is seen as sacred. Shoda Samskaras, when combined with practices like meditation, bring joy, balance, and purpose. They are not outdated, they are timeless tools for human flourishing. My message is simple: do not see these as mere rituals but as blessings. Performing them keeps families united, communities strong, and individuals peaceful. They are treasures of Sanatana Dharma, offering wisdom for every generation. When done with devotion, they light up not just this life but beyond. Jai Gurudev.